And Gary's got a nicely edged patio here, so it makes it very easy to get right out to the edge, which is great. Add some more epoxy.
Can you do this on a yearly basis, or you wait?
You want to wait till it does wear off, because if you did it every year or two, it would show a buildup, kind of like wax, and it wouldn't be quite as clear.
Okay. And you can tell when it's gone is when it's white, turns white, or?
Yeah, just as it showed on the far side here. And start back here.
Can you do this in the direct sun?
You can. Yep. And again, it would, in direct sunlight, your stone is going to have more heat on it, and it would flow a little bit faster too.
And do you fix the nicks and damaged areas first, and then?
Well, I would do those actually last.
Last.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason for that is you want to soak those damaged areas, and then we would mix stone and epoxy. Because if you go over something you just patched,
yeah,
you'll pull it back out.
Gotcha.
So. Took about an hour to do the whole area. This area was just over 600 square feet. We used 2 units of epoxy exactly. So it's all coated, and the last step here is to apply the sand. This is a finer, clean type of sand. It's not your average play sand. So we use this just to add better traction and give it a little more grit to it. So I'm just going to spread this over the area. And all you want to do here is just take a pinch of it between your fingers, like so. It's not a lot, and just toss it so it spreads out nice and evenly over a wide area. We've covered all of the stone with epoxy. We wait till the end to do any crack repairs or to fill in any missing areas. So what we do first is, I've got the stone that was used in the installation. This is a 2-stone mixture. So we'll do half and half. And I like to mix it up a little bit first. And this amount should be plenty. For cracks, you really need very little to fill in. And we'll just dump the stone in here. Got a little bit of epoxy left over in the bucket. And there's no set amount for mixing with the stone. You just want a nice wet mixture. If it's wet or too wet, all you'll do, the epoxy will just run through out of the stone anyway. So we'll mix it up. Okay, that is good. And the last step here is we'll go over to the missing rock here. What I like to do is, again, take some epoxy and just wet down the area that we're going to be repairing so that it bonds thoroughly. That is well coated. Take a small trowel. Tap it down in there and just work it down, pack it a little bit. The last step is to smooth it over. Make sure you don't have too much rock sitting up on top. And that's it. It's going to be a little bit whiter looking at first, or cleaner looking. Scrape off the extra here. And that's all it takes for that. Okay, move down to a smaller spot here. And I would like to add that when we do the actual installation, any existing cracks that are in the concrete, we fill with epoxy first. So we actually will pour it in there, and that seals it, keeps the water out, stops any movement, and from there these cracks rarely come back through. And for this whole patio, the whole area, there's not one crack has shown back up. And we've gone over, in some cases, some pretty nasty cracks. So this is the best way to repair it is using epoxy in the cracks. That is it. Beautiful work.
Looks good.
Beautiful.